Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Stephen Dalton. I'm an Irish storyteller, and it's my great privilege to be the voice that you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. Tonight, we return to my series, Wanderings of an Irishman, and in tonight's story, I go with two of my favorite beings of planet Earth to visit a dog cafe in Paris with my wife Rebecca and our little dog Timmy. It's a cozy and sweet day that really happened in my life recently, and I'm really happy to share it with you. One small thing, if my work is helping you and you'd like to support me, you can do so through Patreon. The link is below this video. Okay, let's do the relaxation session now, which will take a few minutes before tonight's sleep story. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and as I do, allow yourself to let go more and more. 10. Feel the support of the bed beneath you, or the floor, or whatever you lie upon tonight. But beneath all of that, feel the earth that is always supporting you, always there for you. Our home. And as you become aware of that constant support, see if it allows you to let go a little bit more now, to ease into this moment a little bit more now. 9. You are safe. You are okay. And in this feeling of safety, in this place of comfort, allow my voice to be an anchor of safety tonight. Know that my voice will only ever take you to safe places, to safe destinations, to a safe refuge of deep sleep. 8. Feel into your body now. Just notice anything. That's all you need to do. Maybe it's a tingling. Maybe it's a slight pain. Whatever it is, just notice. Maybe it's in your feet. Maybe in your legs. Maybe your belly. Your chest. Or your face. And as you notice whatever you notice, see if you're holding anywhere. And if you are, just let go a little bit more now. 7. The day is done. Whatever has been, has been. Whatever will be, will be. But right now, in this moment, you don't need to think about the past or the future. Allow yourself the luxury of embracing this very moment. And of course, thoughts will arrive, and as they do, don't fight them. Know that they are a part of being a human being. Just see them for what they are. Thoughts, and watch them go like leaves on a moonlit river, or clouds passing in a starlit sky. Six. This is your time. This is your moment. Nobody else's. We are best when we give ourselves time, when we allow peace to be a part of our experience of life. So allow yourself to let go, to be kind to yourself, to know that you deserve this moment and this opportunity of rest. 5. Peace lives within you. It's just waiting to be found. See if you can find it tonight. And if you do, where does it live? In your heart? In your head? Have a look for it and notice if you can sense it. 4. Perhaps allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for the simple things, the shelter you have tonight, the peace of this moment, the opportunity of rest. 3. Begin to engage with your imagination now. Imagine Paris on a beautiful autumn day. The sun is shining, and all of the people are relaxed and enjoying a special kind of day. See the beautiful architecture. Feel the sun on your face and step into this world with me, Rebecca, and Timmy as we go on a walk together. 2. Feel into your body one more time now. And just let go of any residual tension or anything you're holding on to. Your body has worked hard for you today. It deserves rest. 1. Completely letting go now as I tell you tonight's sleep story. We are taking Timmy to the dog Café in Paris, also known as Le Bonaparte. I'll tell you why later. It's a beautiful day in Paris. Rebecca and Timmy and myself have recently come here for an extended time, and we are trying to settle in. One of the things that is important to us is to make sure that our beloved little dog Timmy is happy here. I've found a nice park nearby with a dog park, and Timmy's made some friends. And also, Rebecca has just looked up dog cafes in Paris. She has found Le Bonaparte, and we have decided that today is the perfect day to walk there. We look it up on the map. It will be a 1-hour walk through Paris. And why not? We have some free time. The sun is shining. It's the autumn. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just perfect. So, the 3 of us get ready. I put Timmy's new collar on with his new little name tag that says Timmy. I tried to put on his bandana, but it seems he's not feeling it today, and so I leave him looking simply elegant in his cute little collar, and off we go. The 3 of us leave our building and begin to walk along the grand boulevards of Paris. Paris is a busy place, and it is a beautiful place. There is beauty to be found at every turn. I often find, when walking through cities, some of the greatest beauty to be found is by looking up. In a way, you feel like you're seeing what most of the people around you are not seeing. Hidden beauty, right there in plain sight. Of course, I don't look up all the time, especially not when I'm walking Timmy. But today, the streets aren't too busy, and I enjoy walking along with my wife and my dog, looking up and around at all that is going on in this amazing place. There is a shared affinity, a shared complicity, a shared love that myself and Rebecca and Timmy have together. We are a little family, and we just understand each other. If Rebecca walks ahead and Timmy is enjoying a particular smell, he will notice after a few seconds and then run to catch up with her. He does not like the three of us to be apart. He does have shepherd dog in his genes, so he is a little shepherd, and he likes to keep his flock together. You know, I recently heard that letting a dog smell is incredibly important. I've always lingered and let Timmy smell almost as much as he wants. But for Timmy, it's like reading a book or watching a movie. He gets so much information through his nose. And so, we let him smell where he wants to, as we walk and walk and walk some more. Eventually, we arrive in the Marais district of Paris. This is a beautiful part of Paris, located in the 4th arrondissement. It is kind of what pre-revolution Paris looked like everywhere. It is the closest you will see to what medieval Paris looked like. Here the streets are winding and not logically thought out like the grand long boulevards that Napoleon and Haussmann built in the 19th century. So this is an area of real charm, where you can kind of take a break and a big breath within this metropolis. We are walking past a particular doorway that looks inviting I see what looks like a courtyard through the other side of the building, and a lady walks out and tells us in French that there is a petit parc pour les chiens, or a little park for the dogs. We say merci beaucoup et bonne journée and go through the building to find a little park filled with little dogs. We let Timmy free for a minute, and he makes some new friends, running around and enjoying this very safe little park where the owners of the dogs are standing around and chatting, and give us a little nod and smile of welcome as our dog joins their dogs. It is shady here and offers a little moment of respite for myself and Rebecca. Timmy loves meeting new friends. I think it's so important for dogs to meet other dogs. They need each other, like we need each other. After a few minutes of play, we leave the little park and resume our walk to the dog café. Then we have another little stop to make before arriving at the dog café. It is to our favorite pet shop in the Marais, a place that is very important in the life of Timmy, for it is where we purchased his bed, a bed that he is very much enjoying sleeping in. We stop there and get him his food and various other little treats. Today is all about Timmy, and you can see him almost smile. He makes another friend in the pet store, and they have a little run around before we continue on our way. Nearly there now. Not far, Timmy. You're in for a treat today. He has no idea that we are going to the dog café, Le Bonaparte. We walk through a beautiful square called Place des Vosges. This is the oldest square in Paris. It really is spectacular here. This was one of the squares where the nobility lived in the 17th and 18th centuries. Underneath the great buildings are beautiful colonnades. You really feel like like you're in Paris when you stumble upon such stunning architecture. The atmosphere is lovely. Not too many people. And those that are here are really enjoying this day. It is a nice day to be alive, I think to myself. We turn a corner. Rebecca, still looking at the map, directs us down a little alley just off Place des Vosges and onto a street behind it. She says it should be just up here on the right. And there it is. Le Bonaparte, the dog café. I am eager to see inside, and so is Timmy. Rebecca finds us a seat outside, in the shade, and I go in with Timmy to see what all the fuss is about. We are welcomed by a group of dogs lying around on couches and chaise lounges like a gathering of French nobles before the French Revolution. Here we are welcomed also by Rebecca. Not my Rebecca, the Rebecca who started Le Bonaparte, who I will henceforth refer to as the proprietor, so as to avoid confusion. She is a friendly American lady, whose story I will tell you in a minute. But first, she introduces the dog cafe to us and offers Timmy a puppuccino, which consists of what I believe is unsweetened whipped cream in a little cup just for him. Although, when the proprietor offers it to Timmy, it isn't just Timmy that thinks it's his, and his new doggy friends come for a taste. And so the proprietor suggests that we go outside and let Timmy enjoy his puppuccino on the terrace. My Rebecca has a nice little table for us outside, and we sit down and enjoy people watching and enjoy this moment of relaxation after such a long walk. Timmy loves his puppuccino. He seems to understand why we are here. That today is all about him. Rebecca and I laugh at ourselves sometimes. We love this little dog so much. But he brings us great joy, and we hope we bring him great joy as well. He is a special little dog, a kind-hearted little dog, and he didn't make us take him into our lives. We chose to have him, and it is our philosophy that if we have this little life in our lives, that it is our duty to give him the best life that he can have. I take great joy and pride in giving Timmy a good and full life. There is a reason why dogs and humans are so connected. It is so deep within us. And Timmy has indeed changed my life for the better. And I know Rebecca's too. The proprietor comes out and tells us what is on offer. There are all sorts of treats here for Timmy, specially made, beautifully prepared, little treats for dogs of all shapes and sizes. Timmy can have a beefcake, a turkey bowl, something called a boop, or a croissant cookie. All of the food is made with lovely ingredients that are kind to the dogs' tummies, and I can tell that the proprietor has taken great care over what she does. There are, of course, human treats as well. As she talks, I look inside for a moment, and I see the people with their dogs enjoying each other's company. I see the beautiful old stonework on the walls. I see photos of dogs everywhere. It is a cozy place, this dog cafe. The proprietor, who, as I mentioned, is American, tells us her story. She explains that she used to work for a big company, traveling around the world and coming to France on occasion. Then, through various happenings, she stopped working for that big company and settled in France. And by a series of fortunate events, a dog came into her life. A dog that she initially wanted to name Kevin. But this was not the French way, her friend insisted. And so she went through other names in her head and eventually came up with Napoleon. She tried and tested the name and she found that the French were quite receptive to this name and found it quite amusing that she would call her dog by the name of the man who once called himself Emperor of France. And in case you didn't know, Napoleon's second name was Bonaparte. And so, not too long ago, named after her beloved dog, the Café Bonaparte came into existence. It is in these types of moments that one really enjoys being a human. It is in these types of moments that one remembers, is reminded of the fact that most humans are good. Most humans have deep wells of kindness within them. Sometimes the wells are hidden, but they are there. And sometimes they are filled to the brim. I felt like I met kindness in the dog cafe, not just from the proprietor, but from all the people sitting around with their dogs. They were welcoming, friendly, laughing and joking. And as Rebecca and I sat outside and enjoyed our moments with our little dog Timmy, we reached across the table and held each other's hands and felt good in that moment, connected, at home. For, like we always say, we are each other's home. And Timmy is a part of our home as well. A very big part, and we honor that every single day. So, the proprietor brought us Timmy's treats, and he devoured them, served on little gold plates. Timmy ate from the table. He really enjoyed himself, smiling away, watching the world go by, enjoying his little meal and his puppuccino. What a funny world we live in, one might think. But isn't it great that we don't always have to take everything so seriously. Isn't it great to have fun? It is a word that I have sometimes forgotten in my life. But no matter what our age, surely fun and joy is an essential ingredient. And I said as much to Rebecca as we sat there at the dog cafe. I said, fun is important. Let's have more of it. And so, eventually, all good things must come to an end. We thanked the proprietor for her kindness and hospitality. Timmy said goodbye to his new friends, including Napoleon Bonaparte, who, by the way, was a black and white dog. I think some sort of greyhound or lurcher. And you might be interested to know about the other dogs that were there. A little puppy spaniel, a little terrier, a little Jack Russell, and a few others that I can't remember. Anyway, they were all friendly and kind and welcoming, just like they're humans to Timmy. And so we bid them all goodbye and went on our merry way. Rebecca, Stephen, and Timmy the dog, a little family, now happily content after our visit to the dog cafe.